Take a shot glass and pour all around, and it just, boom.
I watched
heavy.
In Russell's video how he took his actual container of alcohol.
Okay.
Right, and he
Isn't
just
that awesome?
He doused the wick, primed it.
Is it bubbling yet?
Just a little, just barely.
I don't want to get the camera too close to the flame there, but yeah, it's bubbling inside. All the holes are just about caught. Got 3 more over here. There we go.
Okay.
Hey, awesome.
You didn't have enough primed on the wick.
Plus, he primed it before we started recording this re-recording session, and it probably dried out. Now, I have a 2-quart cast iron pan here that you can just sit right on top, and you can see it acts just like a regular burner. We have about 1/4 ounce in there, and that would burn for about 4 minutes. And this has been on there, what now, 15 seconds maybe?
No.
This? Oh.
That hasn't been on there 15 seconds yet. Only about 8 when you mention that. It does that little interesting thing.
It gets very hot very fast. Lick your finger and tap it. Is it sizzling?
No, it's not sizzling, but it's warm.
Yeah. These get hot really, really fast, being cast iron. And just a little tip on the side here that we didn't mention in the previous video. You don't want to be out in the woods in the wintertime hiking with a pan hanging from your side like Johnny Appleseed or whatever. Have it be completely frozen cold in the winter, and then do this and set your pan on there. It's the same thing. It's a catalyst reaction, and it'll cause the metal to crack. You don't want to do that. So if you are in a situation like that, heat it up with your hand or something, or sit on it, whatever, for a few minutes until it really starts to get, not frozen anyway, and then do that, because you don't want to do that.
Something else you could do too is after lighting this, instead of sitting the pan directly on it, if you have the energy at that point and you have a pan available, you could always just hold it over. Take turns with each hand and hold it over the flame and warm it up before you actually sit it down on there. But then again, you are burning precious fuel.
Yeah, you see it. It's just like a regular burner.
Yeah. It gets.
Yeah, I wouldn't, doing this again, I would not put more than 8.
In this pan right now. Right now you can melt butter in this pan.
And probably cook an egg.
It would take a little while to cook an egg, but you could definitely melt the butter. Or whatever, heat up whatever kind of non-stick.
That was gross. Okay.
But you see how quickly it dries?
Yes, I do. That's
it's warm.
Yeah, that's
maybe it's because of the cast iron. But also a very significant source of
nice
heat.
Heat source. Woo! Holy cow!
Yeah, that's why my hands are up here.
Yeah, that's
I could feel the heat
warm
when I lit those other.
Unplug this over here.
I'm going to turn off the other lights.
Okay.
Because there's something I want to make evident. And it's the fact that
I'm going to put that pot back on here, or that pan back on here.
Because of it being denatured alcohol, it's not a bright orange flame. It's like...
Yeah, it's a blue flame.
Yeah. It gives off very little light. It's more of a clandestine fire, maybe.
I can't see your hands. All I can see is the blue.
I'm just warming my hands up. I'm not...
That's pretty cool, guys. Well, let's get some light here. Open your tool room door a little bit there. Nope, that's not going to cut it. Turn the lights back on. We had a friend that made a crossbow, and I tested it from the opposite side of the basement, and we sat 2 of them really big foam books here on a stool, and I shot at the foam books. It went through the foam books and left a permanent mark in our basement wall there.
As it burns out, the flame changes color.
Because the temperature of the flame is dying.
Yeah, plus it's dealing with more oxygen too.
That would have been plenty enough to cook, a few scrambled eggs, and that was just maybe a 1/4 ounce. I don't even think that was a 1/2 ounce. But in a pinch, you know, I think that's a really neat idea.
I think so. I'm very glad that the project turned out as well as it did.
Yeah.
Because based on the initial problems we had with the first bottle, the one that we were doing,
yeah,
I was not thrilled about doing the other 3.
Well, we tried it with a hacksaw, you know,
yeah.
And then I went to, when we realized that we had lost our angle grinder in that incident back then, I went to the store and bought him a new angle grinder the other night.
I'm only holding it from the wick. I'm not touching the aluminum.
Right.
But it's still generating quite a good deal of heat. So.
And you know, if you got a little makeshift shelter or a small tent,
yeah, it's going to heat.
That's going to heat that whole tent really quick.
If you use it in an enclosed area,
yeah,
it's really going to heat up fast.
That's really cool. Awesome.
Very warm.
So what do we have for?
Project.
What's our total here? We have a quart from China Mart, and like I said, it was the only place I could find it.
$6, $10 for the JB Weld and the denatured alcohol, and whatever.
4-pack of Bud is those kind of. I think is like $6.
So let's say 16, and then $3, $2.50 for the.
$18.50 out the door with taxes and everything. Let's say less than $20. And we have, this is easily like 90% full, this quart here. And as you can see, the JB Weld,
we didn't use all of it.
We didn't use very much at all. We didn't even, I don't even think we used 1/4 of it. You know,
it specifically went light, because I knew it wasn't going to take much.
Yeah, these have at least 80% in them yet. So you've got enough. If you buy all that, the only thing you got to continue to buy is these beer cans, and who's complaining about that, right?
Like an army, yeah. Buying beer bottles.
Or like Doc said on the show the other night when he started talking about the other thing that he said, and I said, hey, we're making a video about that.
Oh, the aluminum cans.
Aluminum cans. You can go out and find them on the sides of the streets, you know, and just bring the aluminum cans. Yeah. But what I would do is, with the aluminum cans, you're going to have a bit of a hassle trying to get it tapered at the bottom. You know,
they have a different design aspect.
Yeah. You're going to want
hand covers. You know, this is a design that is specific to the bottle.
Right.
Because,
which is why these work so well, these particular beer cans. We actually went out and bought these specific beer cans for this project. John,
months ago.
Yeah,
Not recently.
We get a 6-pack of beer. It's in the refrigerator for like 8 months.
Yeah, I'm not the drinker I once was. I'm very glad for that. Very blessed.
So I'm less than $20, and you can make bunches of these things, which is really cool. I would suggest either taking this container with you when you go hiking or whatever, or, oh, hey, Jack, you come to visit. Hi.
This is my buddy.
This is Jack. Yeah. Oh, and jealous Aslan, which I can't see because I turned the other light off. Yeah, Mike, that's
these are the boys.
That's our version of Rufus.
These are the boys.
Yeah.
Aside from the ferret, was still upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would keep this with you when you go camping or hiking or on a weekend excursion or whatever.
Well, what we plan on doing, because we have 4 people.
Oh, yeah, there's 4. Can you turn that light back on? Everything's dark over here.
That's fine.
All right. What we plan on doing, since we have 4 of these, is getting like a small rubber seal container and splitting this bottle up and keeping it with each person, and hopefully never have to use it. But in a pinch, you know, we do have that option.
Yeah, divide the large can up into 4 smaller, rationed amounts.
Our test run here, he used, I would say, 1/4 to 1/3 of an ounce. It wasn't quite a 1/2 ounce. And that burned for about, 4 or 5 minutes?
I didn't time it.
I would guess, roughly, I would say 4 or 5 minutes.
We can do it again and time it some other time.
Yeah.
Make an amendment to the video.
But, yeah, just roughly 4 or 5 minutes, I would say. That is definitely enough to get a cast iron pan like we have over here. Is that still hot? No.
Right?
Yeah, long enough to get water boiling, or make a couple of eggs or something.
Get it to the temperature where
some thin sliced meat or something, would burn real quick. Cook really quick, rather. You don't want to burn it. Yeah, we're going to try to divide this up into 4 and get some rubber seal containers and keep them with our backpacks and stuff. And in a pinch, we have that option, and I think that's really cool. Even if you're not cooking, if you're in like a life or death freezing situation, just a little at a time, light one of these every hour and put some heat in your tent. If you retain that heat well, you've got a couple of hours of heat based on a 1/3 ounce of denatured alcohol. Because, that really put off. John's hands were about 2 feet, 20 inches above the fire. Okay, 1.5 feet above the fire, and I put my hand just a few inches below, and I couldn't keep it there. It was so hot. So